I rush my horse into them, pick out the fattest cows, shoot them down. Killed for the railroad company for 17 months. During that time, the number I brought into camp was kept account of. 4,280 buffalo. 4,280.
While the slaughter of the buffalo has been, in places, needless and brutal, and while, from a purely selfish standpoint, many, including myself, would rather see it continue to exist, yet its destruction was the condition precedent upon the advance of white civilization in the West. From the standpoint of humanity at large, the extermination of the buffalo has been a blessing.
Nature has nowhere presented more beautiful and lovely scenes than those of the vast prairies of the West. And of man and beast, no nobler specimens than those who inhabit them. The Indian and the buffalo. Joint and original tenants of the soil. And fugitives together from the approach of civilized man. They have fled to the great plains of the West. And there, under an equal doom, they have taken up their last abode, where their race will expire, and their bones will bleach together.
Ega dome kade. They owned it, Gahunne more God.
I love the land and the buffalo and will not part with it. I don't want to settle. I love to roam the prairies. I want the children raised as I was. A long time ago, this land belonged to our fathers. But when I go to the river, I see soldiers in its banks. They cut down our timber. They killed my buffalo. When I see that, it feels as if my heart would bust with sorrow.
is a glorious history our God has bestowed upon his chosen people. A history of statesmen who flung the boundaries of the Republic out into unexplored lands and savage wildernesses. A history of a multiplying people who overran a continent in half a century. Steam joins us. Electricity joins us. The very elements are in league with our destiny.
The final victory of man's machinery over nature's materials is the next logical process in evolution. Machinery, science, and intelligence moving on the face of the earth may well affect it as the elements do, upbuilding, obliterating, and creating, and they are man's forces, and will be used to hasten his dominion over nature, and each gain upon nature adds to the quantity of goods to be consumed by society.
Bigger and better than ever. Oh, what a feeling, you've got me feeling bigger and better than ever. My heart is bumping, you got it bumping, bigger and better than ever. Bigger and better than ever.
To make 1 ton of steel, 1.5 tons of iron has to be mined, then transported 100 miles from the mine to the lakes, then carried by boat hundreds of miles, and then transported by rail 150 miles again to Pittsburgh. 1.5 tons of coal must be mined, manufactured into coke, and carried 50 miles by rail, and 1 ton of limestone mined and carried to Pittsburgh. Miraculous.
If the businessman's refinery taints the air, if his chimneys smut the sky, if his waste poisons our streams, we tolerate it. Tell him of the forest, blighted by the arsenic fumes from giant smelters, and he replies, it would cut dividends to get rid of the fumes. The smoke-laden air of every city, he says, is but a testimonial of the general prosperity of the country.